What's going on, Giants fans? Welcome back to another week of Big Blue Avenue. It is week 6, and the Giants only have one win on the season. What's going on, everybody? My name is Tom Scavetta, joined alongside Sam Cardona, the girl who talks sports. Sam, how are you feeling tonight after an abysmal week 5? But I will say a slightly better performance than the week prior. Couldn't go up from that week 4 Monday night game.
Yeah, I feel like every time we watch that intro through, I think, why aren't we doing the things in that intro video on the field anymore? It was yeah, not a great game. Really not. But obviously it was lots of injuries going on, lots of crazy stuff we're gonna get into. But yeah, one win on the year, and it was to the Arizona Cardinals. Not great.
Not great at all. And folks, before we jump into our key takeaways from week 5, as you can see on our ticker below, follow us on Big Blue Avenue on all of our social media, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Catch our week 5 recap. If you can't, stay tuned for the whole show tonight. And we will have a special guest on later, Buffalo Bills content creator, Cover One's very own Greg Thompset, making his 3rd appearance on the show. So very excited to have him on. But Sam, I have to ask you, the Giants were in this game for quite some time, but once again, the defense couldn't stop a nosebleed with the explosive plays, and Daniel Jones keeps getting, might as well do run and duck drills every week in practice. The guy can't stand up straight. The offensive line this time officially gets him injured. Not the same neck injury as 2 years ago, but is it the players? Is it the coaches? Is it both? I mean, it's just the same problems every single week.
Yeah, I think that it also has to do with the fact that with all these injuries, I feel like in the back of their brains, they're like, "Oh yeah, like there's no way we can win this game with this team." And then that's how they go into the game, and then that's the outcome that comes out of it. Um and I don't want to keep blaming injuries, but they are a huge factor on this team. And now with Daniel getting hurt on his neck, which is not ideal, we're really struggling here. And I thought this game was going to be much bigger blowout. I was expecting at least 40 points from the Dolphins and us to have maybe 2 touchdowns, if that. So I don't want to say I'm happy with the outcome because I'm not, but I guess I'm satisfied with the fact that it wasn't as bad as we anticipated it to be. But yeah, same every week, and like nothing seems to get better. I'm sure it's just a combination of everything, coaching, players, like it just there's something wrong with this organization that like cannot get back on track after like 2012.
Well put. That's exactly what I was going to say. Very well put. And I have to say too, Eric Gray finally got some carries in the backfield. It took them long enough. As much as I like Gary Brightwell on special teams. He sucks as a running back. Giants finally score a first half touchdown, even though it was on defense. Thank you, Jason Pinnock.
Yes.
The defense did force 3 turnovers. So Tua is human. I mean, Tua had some bad throws in this game, too. I mean, he wasn't too great himself. I think Jones at the end of it was higher rated than Tua, but of course, Jones' numbers don't even compare based off of the teams.
Yeah.
I thought the defense, they need to clean up these big plays. They're good, but the explosive plays kill them and make them not good. I don't know what the method is to stopping that. It's bad. It's very bad. And it's sad, too, because Kayvon's playing his heart out there.
I think that's the thing, too. It's like people will say everything they want about Daniel Jones, but like Daniel Jones is doing his best with what he's been given over not even just this year, but over all of the years that he's basically been a Giant. And the defense is doing everything they can. I mean, the defense is putting points on the board. Like the defense is doing what they need to do to try and help the offense win the game. But the offense is so decrepit and so not well put together that it's like everything the defense is doing is like not even worth it. So that's what sucks about it. It's like you see the heart of like Kayvon and pick six from Jason Pinnock and things like that you're like, there's that little bit of hope. And then the offense gets on the field and you're like, I can't see them. And there's times I think I can't remember if it happened in this game, but definitely last week, like there were times where they were converting on third down and like getting back on the field and they just didn't capitalize on it. And that's just like so frustrating. It's like you're given all these opportunities and you're not getting the points on the board, and that's part of the reason why you're not winning games. It's like you don't capitalize on those moments, and that's what's really frustrating.
Yep. Pinnock with the pick six, as you mentioned. Big play you think would turn the momentum. Did not. Jones leaves the game with a neck injury. Tyrod Taylor got banged up as well. Doesn't matter who's playing quarterback. There's no protection.
Yeah.
This is how sad it is. Mark Lewinsky was the highest graded offensive lineman this week for the Giants. Out of all the offensive linemen that played, that includes Josh Azudu, Evan Neal, Matt Parrott, Jalen Mayfield, and Marcus McKeithen. Horrendous. You were 5 for 17 on third down. How the hell does Wandale have 5 catches for 19 yards? And these are short routes. You think the lineman would get out and block for him. Not to mention they couldn't run the ball either. They got outrushed 222 to 85. Atrocious performance all across the board. And you know what's crazy in this game, Sam? The Giants won the turnover battle 3-0 and held the ball for 36 minutes.
That's what I'm saying, though. Like, they have these opportunities and they just don't capitalize on them, and that's the struggle. But, like, the fact that Mark Lewinsky, which 2 weeks ago we were talking about how it would be okay if he wasn't even on the team anymore, being your highest rated offensive lineman, that's a huge problem. Like, a huge problem, and I don't even know the solution to fix it. It's not just like Justin Pugh can't fix the entire team.
No.
You know what I mean?
He might play this week. We'll see. He's going from that injury. There's a chance he might play. Let's talk about the presence on the second level of Bobby Okereke and Isaiah Simmons. I thought they were pretty good, especially Bobby O had a really solid game. Micah McFadden out with the ankle injury, did not play. Some players got benched this week. I mean, we saw an offense. Paris Campbell got benched. Trey Hawkins got benched. The linebacking core seems to be the most consistent unit on the defense. I think they're doing their job more often than not. So I was impressed. It just leads me to believe that how well these players are coached. Dable and the coaching staff might not be able to overcome shortcomings this year like they did last year.
Yeah. And I know we're going to talk about it with
the Giants had Jalen Smith starting on defense.
We'll talk about it when we talk about the transactions and stuff, but I genuinely feel like Cole Beasley needs to be on the field. Like, that guy's a playmaker. We've seen it happen not only in Buffalo, we saw it happen in Dallas. Like, he is a Julian Edelman type of wide receiver that will cross over the middle and take that hit, but will make the play. And that's what we need. We need it's so crazy to say a star wide receiver is Cole Beasley, but he could be that for us. He could be the it guy on offense, which is crazy to think about because we just drafted Jalen Hyatt and Wan'Dale Robinson last year. And why aren't we giving them the ball? Why isn't that happening? Ridiculous.
Yeah. Comments here. Vincent saying hello. Defense playing better than the offense.
Yep. Offense is just not putting the points up. It's just not happening.
Yeah, I guess the sirens in front of my house are chasing after the Giants offensive coordinator, Mike Kafka. Trying to get him out of town, Sam.
Honestly, I'm okay with it.
The offensive line stinks. Paris Campbell was either an awful signing or he's just not getting coached well. A combination of both, I think. There's not enough of Jalen Hyatt. You traded up to get him in the third round. Where is he? Are you not able to use him because the offensive line can't set up the big play? If you only drafted him for the big play, then why trade up for him in the third round?
Right.
You can't set up the big play on this team.
And Darren Waller. Like, where's Darren Waller? We had him on the he's a major playmaker. Like, why isn't this like, I mean, I know that they usually double coverage him and it's tough to get him the ball, but like we gotta figure this out. We gotta figure it out because I want to see Darren Waller in the red zone. And we haven't, like, we've seen Matt Breida in the end zone. Why don't we have Jalen Hyatt and Darren Waller there? It's ridiculous.
It is. But I will say there are better things to come. You know, the Giants have made some moves. We'll talk about those in just a few moments. But if the Giants are going to do better next week, they must not give up 500 yards of offense again. They gave up 524 this past week. Eli Apple looked like a stud out there, which is horrible to say. Devin Achant, the Giants couldn't stop the run. Devin Achant, 76-yard touchdown run. I know he's hurt now on the short-term IR. They couldn't stop him. It was really bad. It was really, really bad. But I think one thing to take away from this game, Sam, is what we mentioned before with the linebacking core, which leads us to our New York Giants player of the week. And this week we decided to go with a new face, Bobby O.
Bobby Okereke. Yeah, I mean, defense was definitely going to be a player of the week this week. They were the ones that showed up. So at Miami, he had 10 tackles, 2 passes deflected, and an interception. And in the last 3 games, 29 tackles, 4 run stuffed, 3 pass deflections, and 1 interception. He leads the team with 42 tackles, which is great. You know, Bobby O is filling in that spot that Blake Martinez left behind, which, you know, it's like the space in my heart that's missing. And he played 100% of the defensive snaps this season. And he signed that 4-year, $40 million contract in the offseason, which seems like this is actually the one thing we're getting our money's worth right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he's playing great. I'm excited for him. Nice pick. Making Mike McFadden and Isaiah Simmons move and look better. And this meme was really funny. Not a meme, but a photo that was taken at a press conference of Daniel Jones. Sam, he's literally turning into Eli Manning. I know Daniel Jones and Eli are nothing alike, but looks-wise, personality-wise, ladies and gentlemen, this is the state of the New York Giants. This is the state of the New York Giants right now, Sam. Take me through this photo. What is Daniel Jones thinking?
Oh my God. Well, first of all, he doesn't own a comb apparently, or he just got out of the shower, didn't think to brush his hair before going out into the media. Going with the growl fit, the full grays, which is just dreary and just horrific and not the best look to be doing right now. And I mean, the face says it all. I know that's his face for everything, but like, it's very obvious he's distraught, he's frustrated, he's trying to figure out what to do with this team because he knows it all comes back to him at the end, even if he isn't the sole issue. But like, man, that is literally how I feel on the inside of my body right now.
Yeah, that's the New York Giants for you right there. Awful stuff, but let's move on to week 6 because we've had enough of week 5. I know we say that every week, but there's a lot to talk about, and we have some transactions for the folks. First and foremost, the Giants have activated wide receiver Cole Beasley to the active practice squad. Really need him this week. Think he would be a great add. And the Giants also signed offensive lineman Yodny Cajuste to the practice squad as well. We'll break down both these players in just a moment. So the Giants do add some offensive line help. They terminate the contracts of wide receiver Cam Sims and DB Amani Arawarie. Also, the Giants worked out free agent tackle Lael Collins earlier about. Let's talk about Cole Beasley first, Sam. I know you like Cole, former Bill, knows the scheme, knows the system. Glad he's activated. They need him. He looked good in that one preseason game, and I think he could really help out Daniel Jones, having a veteran receiver, not like a Slayton, but a real veteran like a Cole Beasley. I think that's what the Giants are missing.
100%. Again, I've talked about him in the past, how even when he was with Dallas, I enjoyed Cole Beasley. I think he's very good at what he does. I think he came out of retirement to play for the Bills. He showed up even with that wide receiver core with Gabe Davis and Stephon Diggs. Like, there are things that he's just made for, and it's going long and cutting to the middle. And like, that's what he's good at. And that's what we need, because we're just, you can't keep going to the outside, outside, outside. Like, eventually you need to change it up at some point. So I would love to see Cole Beasley. I would love to see him, especially in this upcoming game. Revenge game against the Bills. This is a big game for the Giants staff, and some of the players. So it would just, plus, I was really hoping they would take this game at a prime time, but maybe putting Cole Beasley in is going to make it just a little bit more manageable, a little bit more exciting, even if there's not a win there. Like, we just need a game. Like, just give us a game, because people are just, we're so exposed in prime time, and people can see all of our flaws, and it's horrific. Like, I can't take it anymore. But here we are, going into Sunday Night Football again for the fourth time this year.
Yep, fourth primetime game in 6 weeks to start the season. Giants add another offensive lineman, Yodny Cajuste. Hope I'm saying that correct. The former third-round pick back in 2019. He played in the Senior Bowl with Daniel Jones that year. 5 career Patriot. He was waived by the Jets this past summer with a 65.7 PFF grade last year, which is, I'd say, a time and a half better than any Giants offensive lineman right now. So we'll see if he could do something. I'm here for it. It seems every offensive lineman that comes here, it doesn't matter. They just flop. I mean, John Feliciano was the highest rated pass blocking guard in the NFL last week. Granted, he's on the 49ers playing next to Trent Williams, but
nonetheless, he was playing next to Andrew Thomas last year, and not to compare Andrew Thomas and Trent Williams, but like, it's a better coaching staff. I think that's what it comes down to.